Good morning. Look at that. Isn't that just absolutely stunning? This is Doo Lough, and this is in County Mayo out in the far west of Ireland. So I've just arrived after a 4.5 hour drive, and it was raining yesterday and last night, so I wasn't sure, but I was hoping that the weather would be really good today, and it's absolutely perfect. There's hardly a breeze, the sun's out, the clouds off the tops, absolutely stunning, and it's very quiet. There's hardly anyone about. So this is Mweelrea Mountain, and well, it's part of Mweelrea Mountain. There's actually 5 tops, so I'm going to climb up there and wild camp up there tonight, and this is a massive big coombe that I'll be walking up through. Absolutely stunning. Haven't been here in a few years, so really looking forward to getting back up, and I've never camped here, so that's going to be really cool, but absolutely beautiful. This has to be one of my favourite places in Ireland. It's just absolutely beautiful. This is the Sheafree Hills, just the end of them, and I've actually well camped up the top there. They're a fantastic range of hills. That's Ben Gorm and Ben Craigan. I've camped up there as well. And this is Mweelrea, and I haven't camped up here, but I've walked up here, and it's absolutely beautiful. Get up through the coombe here, you think there's no way up, but there's sort of ramp runs up along the back of the coombe, which is it's fairly easy access up to the top. I'm following a wee river up from the loch up into the coombe, and there's all these beautiful wee waterfalls, so just the sound of the water is with me all the way, near enough soothing me as I walk up along. Going on to the real river now. This is the Untitled I think is how you say it. And again, really cool waterfalls. But look at this. This oak tree has just sort of magically appeared, nestled away down in here, just out of the harsh wind, and the light shining on the new growth leaves. It just looks like something totally unreal. Absolutely magical. So I'm well into the coombe now, and you can see it's sort of, the entrance is sort of closing in there, and as you climb up the back wall, you can see the ground gets a wee bit steeper and more complex, but it's still easy going. It's just a matter of curving up and going, following the ramp up straight up to the top. Really still and quiet in here. There's a couple of ravens floating about. and their calls are echoing round. The sun's come out, so it's making this climbing even harder. But you can see the view starting to open out with, so it's worth the effort. And you can see the river yondering down through the floor of the GERRY. So this is the sort of grassy ramp that runs up the back of the GERRY, and you can see it's fairly wide, and you can see it going on up there. So it's, once you get up here, it's fairly easy going. Still climbing, not far off the top, but and a good bit of height over the floor of the GERRY, and just looks absolutely stunning. And you get a better sense then of the back wall, the three tops of Ben Lugmore, and just the sheer drops off the top. There is a lovely breeze. Oh man, that's brilliant. It was so warm. We were walking down up through that GERRY, and there's no midges here then. So that's Mweelrea over there. So that's just over 800 metres, and you can see the clouds coming in as it lifts up off the sea, just touching the top. That's BENLUGMORE up there, so the plan is to head up to the top of BENLUGMORE and then walk up to Mweelrea and then walk back. And up there, that's the 3 BENLUGMOREs that were towering up over the back of the GERRY. So I'm going to camp somewhere up there, probably at the last one. But it's an absolutely stunning day for walking. So I called this one right. And certainly in terms of the weather, brilliant. So I'm up on the top of BENLUGMORE, and this is just shy of 800 metres. So it was a lovely gentle wee walk just up to the top here, and there's a southerly wind today, so the air clarity isn't great, but I can see over the Clare Island, I can see over the Achill Island, and I can see up to North Mayo. So that's the MCVEIGH Mountains, and over there I can see Patrick and Neffin Mountain away in the distance. And if we can turn round, there's a wee bit of a clear view down over to the mountains of Galway and the 12 Bains and the Mamturk Mountains over there. So yeah, it's not a day to complain about the views. This is the western side of Mweelrea, and you can see the beautiful beaches down there. And I've often looked down on them from up here, and you can even see the sun glinting off the cars parked down there. So there's a road and a car park to get to them. I thought it'd be a really cool spot to visit, and you can actually climb up from this side. though I don't think it's anywhere near as exciting as coming up through the big Coombe at the other side. But it's certainly a space I would like to visit, and I would say you could dander along the coast there a wee bit and get a wee spot to wild camp, I would think. The cool thing about a mountain this size is that as you go along, new views and vistas open up, and this is one that I think is really cool, and that's Loch Bellawam, away down, nestled away down in there. Absolutely stunning. And if you look back over there, so those mountains there, that's actually the other side of the cliffs that were in the big Coombe. So you can see there's a slightly more gentle slope, and once they reach the top, then there's a vertical drop where the ice has just gouged all the rock away in the big Coombe. So I'm at the summit of Mweelrea, and it's 814 metres, so it's the provincial high point of Connaught out here in the west of Ireland. It's actually, the sun's that strong, I don't know if you can see over there, but the peat, the steam coming off the peat where the rain from last night is actually been steamed and dried off. I've certainly felt the sun today. So and down there, that's GERRY Fjord, or GERRY Harbour, and that's a big sea inlet that comes away in through the mountains. And I've actually had like a boat tour up and down that before, which was quite cool. You get a different sort of perspective on the mountains. And again, that's back over to where I've been earlier today. So you've Bivy, and then you've the three tops of Ben Lugmore. I'm going to head back over that way to get my wild camp spot for later on. So yeah, absolutely stunning. There's a couple of other people I see away in the distance, but apart from that, I've got the mountain to myself. There's very little if any water up here, so the rain last night has made sure that there's a couple of pools here, and this one's well full, so it's probably about 2 or 3 foot deep. So I'm fine to take some water out of this, and then I can use that for boiling to maybe cook or make tea. And there's loads of wee tap pools in there as well, so there must be late developers, I think. There's a great feeling of sort of airiness walking up along this ridge along the 3 Lugmore tops. It's nothing too nothing too exciting or strenuous, but you've got the drop away down this side here, down into the Coombe, and on over to Doo Lough, and you've got the steep slopes this side as well, dropping down. So it's a beautiful wee walk. This is probably, I think, along with walking up through the Coombe, this is probably what makes this walk so special. So I picked my spot, and that's it there. So nice and level. I've actually got a wee bit of water here as well if I need it. Probably will for another cup of tea. It's just up above the edge of the cliffs, so it should be nice in the morning whenever the sun comes up, but it's quite chilly. I've been walking with my t-shirt for probably the last half hour and been absolutely freezing. Just couldn't be bothered stopping and putting the jacket on, but there's definitely a chill in the air. So it's after 10 o'clock and it's still pretty light, and you can see the fantastic views out to the west, over to the islands. Really peaceful, absolutely fantastic, a real place for contemplation. I'm sitting out the shelter of the breeze just below the big GERRY, and I'll probably head up in a second or two to get into the bivy bag and get warm. But it's been a really fantastic day's walking. Absolutely perfect weather, t-shirt weather all day, brilliant views, brilliant walking, and really quiet. I would say only met a few other people. Morning, beautiful morning. I was up about 5 o'clock to get the sunrise. It was absolutely freezing, so I wasn't long to go back into the sleeping bag, but it's warmed up now, and as I say, I went with the bivy bag last night, and that worked really well. There was a nice wee stiff breeze, which meant there was no midges, and I was pretty toasty in there, so a pretty good night's sleep, and I'm looking forward to get packed up and getting on this morning. We'll never tire of this view, so just showing you it again here this morning, down into the coombe that I walked up yesterday, and those are the three tops of Ben Lugmore. and over there is Benlugmore, and again those are some of the tops that I went up over yesterday. And you've cracking views this morning out. Again over to the west, and there's a cap sitting on a lot of those hills and mountains out near the coast, which normally happens. And if I take you on round, that's Kirkpatrick, Sheafrey Hills, Ben and Ben Cregan, and over there, so that's down into the Mamturks and the 12 Bends. That's me all packed up. So again, I think it's important to say it every time. I've left the place pretty much as I found it, and you shouldn't have any idea that I've actually been here last night. So leave no trace, and onwards, and not upwards but downwards. So I'm back to Doo Lough, but probably about 750 metres up above it. So that's a drop, sort of I'll be doing to get down. But absolutely stunning views down over the loch, and that's Mweelrea, that lovely valley going up there between the Sheafrey Hills and Ben and Ben Cregan. And I'm looking down Dora Park. So I was only car there yesterday on a Friday, and there's about maybe 9 or 10 there now, which I suppose is to be expected on a Saturday, but it's still not an awful lot. So again, these mountains are absolutely fabulous, and they're very quiet. So you know, you can, if you want fantastic mountains, and if you don't want loads of people, this is maybe where to come. That's me down off Ben Lugmore, and the descent wasn't too bad. Now, the last time I did this, I came down in the dark, and I think I came down there, which was a lot trickier than the route I took today. So I think the route I took today was the best one. So I'm down at Doo Lough, and I'm at the opposite end from when I started yesterday. So I'm going to follow up this side of the loch all the way back up, and I've never been up along this side before, so that'll be quite cool to explore that. So Mountaineering Ireland have a campaign on at the minute called One from the Hills. And that's about if everyone out in the hills lifted one piece of litter or rubbish at the scene, the potential that can make a big difference. And as I've been walking today and yesterday, I've seen literally no litter or rubbish on these hills, which doesn't really surprise me because, you know, they're fairly quiet, and it takes quite a bit of effort and determination and probably skill to climb these, certainly in maybe adverse weather. So I have actually come across a plastic bottle. I don't know how I got here. It's obviously been dropped by someone, and I'm going to lift that, and I'm going to take that back with me. just me back to the start. Go back to this fantastic view that I had starting yesterday, looking down the length of Doo Lough. Just as stunning today as it was yesterday. And back up into the big Coombe. Looking a wee bit sort of darker today, but just as fabulous. So it's been a couple of fantastic days here down in the Mweelrea Mountains. My camp last night was absolutely fantastic, if not cold, and a fantastic sunrise this morning. So yeah, it was just as good, if not better, than the last time I was here, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And that says something about the quality of these mountains here. Absolutely stunning.